Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Count Christo and this is the first episode of the Sufficit Mundi series. I think I'm saying that roughly right. Sufficit Mundi? Something like that. That, in Latin, means the world is enough. We're going to do a world conquest in Meiou and Taxes. We're going to start as the mighty Milan. We're going to win this initial war and we're going to take over the entire world. That is the plan. And I'm tempted... I'm tempted to try and do it one tag, which would be a little ridiculous in its difficulty. But I may try. We shall see as the game develops. We'll start off with the initial goal of doing a one tag world conquest, not counting the new world. We're not going to do any crazy not coring the entire new world nonsense. But let's see. Let's see if I can one tag the entire old world. That means all of Africa, all of Europe, all of Asia. Wish me luck. This, of course, is the wonderful Meiou and Taxes mod that makes World Conquest about 10 times harder, probably. And we're playing as Milan. I was originally going to play as an Italian minor. I was looking around at all the Italians, looking at their idea groups, their national ideas and their mission trees. I like Milan's the best. Milan has a great mission tree, a great idea set. They don't have the best culture bonus. We are currently an egalitarian family. I'd much rather be an authoritarian family. I prefer it by quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to a culture which has an authoritarian family. I'm not sure which one that's going to be. Hopefully we can find an Italian culture so that all this will be accepted culture to us. If not, we'll have some issues, but I'll give it a go. This series is going to be very heavily edited. What I mean by that is I'm going to show you exclusively the highlights. We're going to go... it won't be edited like the whole campaign lasting an hour, but I suspect the whole campaign might be more like 10 hours of footage. So, that'll be edited down from substantially more than 10 hours of footage. I reckon... I'm going to show beginnings and ends of wars, pivotal battles, big decision-making processes. I'm still going to go through my decision-making processes on camera, like picking idea groups, choosing targets, choosing allies, stuff like that. But little minor events and stuff, that's all going to be cut out. I'm doing this for two reasons. Firstly, because I think it would be unreasonably long, this series, otherwise. Secondly, because part of it is going to be a bit of a retread of the Roman campaign in terms of blobbing in the Mediterranean. And... So yeah, for those various reasons, we're going to have it be a heavily edited series. The other major reason is it'll take too long, and I don't want to commentate a world conquest. It takes too long, and I think it's just not entertaining for some large parts of it from your perspective. I very much enjoy doing large world conquests, but... So that's how it's going to be. It's going to be very edited. Now, to pull the curtain back a bit, we're not actually going to fight this war because I already did that last night. I was originally going to do this campaign over on Twitch, but I've decided actually I'm going to do it all as edited offline content. So we're now just going to load the save from the end of the VOD from Twitch. Basically, all we've done is win this war. And I will show you the aftermath of us having won this war in just a second. Okay, so here we are after the load, and we've won the war. Huzzah! So, in this war... Oh, we also won another war. I took this province, which starts out as our core. So it's nice and aggressive expansion free. So we vassalized Montferrat, we vassalized Mantua, and we took Emilia. That's about the only things that's changed. We've got an alliance with Aragon and Savoy, and now we need to let some AE burn down. It's not too bad. A bit of time has actually passed since the end of the war. By the way, we begin with a personal union over Massa. We are also doing our very, very best, our darndest. Please, Bohemia, die. Die. If he dies, we become the emperor. Please, Bohemia, I beg of thee. Unfortunately, he's gaining Imperial Authority very quickly right now because there's so many princes and there's no heretics or anything like that. And for only 10 provinces lie outside the empire, which sounds like a lot coming from vanilla. But remember, in Meiou and Taxes, there's a lot of HRE provinces. So please, if he dies right now, we get it. We get the empire title. Please, Bohemia, just die. That is our hope. We will, of course, agree to all of these reforms. All right, let's get this show on the road. I forgot to mention, at various points during this war, it got incredibly close. We were at number 2-1, maybe 3-1 at the beginning of this war. We marshaled up a huge number of troops and a very good general role. Seriously helped out. Let's decommission him so he doesn't die. other things I wanted to show off. We have an awesome mission tree. Meiou and Taxes team, you are gods amongst men. Look at this tree. It goes all the way to freaking Andalusia, Turkey, Carthage. We have an incredible amount of cool stuff here. One very interesting thing to note. If we complete the March on Rome, which means we take that central area just there you can see highlighting, we get a restoration of union CB on Naples, and the country changes to Italy. Now, we might not want to do that, because if we change to Italy, it might give us a new mission tree, and I think we want to do it this way, because I think there's a cool bonus from doing it this way, but I'm not certain about that. So we will look into that as time continues. A couple of other things I wanted to point out. We are going to remain a monarchy, because we want to become the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, the Sanctorum Romanum Imperium. Fantastic. Awesome. All right, let's see what happens next. Oh, sweet Jesus. It's not even been a year. Or has it been? I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to call it right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to do a one tag. We're going to do a world conquest. We're the emperor. It happened. We're the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Their votes are now very solidly locked in, because we get the bonus from Imperial Authority. And Bohemia, do you even have an heir? They do have an heir. No, they don't. They don't have an heir. In fact, can they even vote for Bohemia right now? Because technically they're ruled by a woman. I guess it's counting the heir as the ruler of Bohemia. Otherwise, Bohemia wouldn't be allowed to vote for themselves. Oh, baby. Oh, it's so good. We can complete the mission now to become emperor, which gives us Diplo rep for 10 years and growth of the capital. Nice. Let's do that. And we can reform. If we can do Reichsreform, we get some prestige, which is nice. And we can move on to securing imperial borders. Nice. Nice. That's so good. We're growing. It's growing a lot slower now. Why is that? Maybe there was internal peace a second ago, I guess. Okay, now we need to reign in the empire. I don't know if we can do that. Sorry, reign in northern Italy. But I don't think we can do that until the event about the Shadow Kingdom fires. If you're not familiar, Italy is currently part of the HRE, obviously, because we could join. But large parts of it, including Venice, Treviso, and the Papal lands, have fallen out of the empire. We need to add that all back into the empire, or otherwise bring it under our or a empire member's control before 1500? 1490 in the base game. I'm not certain how it works in Meiou and Taxes. We will look into it. And Liguria. Or we will... all this area will leave the empire, and most devastatingly, we will be forced to leave the empire, or we will get a horrible modifier called submission to the emperor. And I think if we leave the empire and then rejoin and add our land back in, we still get the horrendous submission to the empire modifier. So that would be pretty bad. I will look into that though, actually, because now I think about it, if we could conquer all this land, have the Shadow Kingdom fire, and then add it all back in, that's actually a huge gain of Imperial Authority. So I will look into that, but oh baby. The second this event fired, I took a screenshot, shared it to the little closed M&T developer Discord, and was just like, okay, GG, I'm going to get a world conquest. Oh man, this is going to be really good. Okay, so we just eclipsed Venice as a rival, and apparently we have no valid rivals. Why can't I rival France? That seems very bizarre. Hopefully that'll update at some point. I'd love to be able to rival France and maybe Bohemia. Okay, so I figured out why we have less Imperial Authority. I was correct. It's because there's a war in the Empire. Unacceptable. So I'm going to do my best to try and enforce peace on this war. Lauenburg is attacking Meissen, Thuringia, Saxony, Schwarzburg, and Anhalt. Sorry. And Mansfield. I don't know why it doesn't. That hover is strange. Obviously, Lauenburg is going to lose this war, but they're actually a bit distant from each other. So I'm going to see what I can do to just enforce peace. Since these guys are the attackers, it should be easy to force peace on them. Oh, wait, we can get another alliance? Why can I get another alliance? I have two already. All right, let's ally Naples. No, they're their alliance limit. Who can I ally right now? I'd love another alliance. Let's see who's on the table. Oh, France. Hello, France. Oh, this game loves me and wants me to be happy. We're allied to France. and Aragon, who, just to confirm, are not rivals. Oh, baby. This is going to be really good. We're going to have to help France win one big war against England, but after that, they're going to be such a good ally, and they're not going to attack the Empire. Oh, baby. So France is not going to attack the Empire because they're allied to us, and they won't want to go to war with us, and if they attack the Empire, they'll have to go to war with us. Jeez, that's good. We don't somehow have another alliance with it, do we? No. So we can't get Poland as well, just to do the ridiculous triple threat. This is so good. So to talk a bit about Imperial Authority. Imperial Authority is generated by having large numbers of correct faith princes and having no land held outside the Empire and having internal peace and having free cities. Pretty simple. We're going to maintain the integrity of the Empire by making sure that all these German, Dutch, and Czech princes survive. And by releasing a few that currently don't exist. So we're going to probably try and make Styria independent. We're going to try and make... Isn't there one up here? Yeah, there's a couple in Bohemia that we're going to want to liberate. These two here. And just in order, because you have the maximum number of tags you can get in the Empire, the more Imperial Authority you generate. We're also going to do lots of enforcing peace and trying to keep our... Imperial Authority ticking up that way. I'm also going to do my very, very best to remain papal controller as much as possible and then just crush any thoughts of reformation. And the way you do that is you liberalize the Catholic Church, and you liberalize fast. I'm talking English Bible, not English Bibles. There you go, Anglo-centric here. What's the term for English for Bibles in the local language? I think there's a Latin phrase, or is it just a normal phrase? But anyway, we're gonna let people have Bibles in their own language, church sermons in their own language. We're gonna have married priests. It's gonna be Sodom and Gomorrah all over again, and hopefully that will delay the Reformation long enough that we can pass this reform before the Reformation really goes crazy. Sorry, no, we can pass this reform, revoking the privilegia, before the final reform happens. Before the Reformation fires and becomes too much of a problem. That's the idea. Okay, we're currently justifying on Liguria, because if we can capture Liguria, that'll be a really, really nice boon. But what I was talking about was maximizing the number of princes in the Empire. What we're going to do to accomplish that is we're going to really contain our aggressive expansion to Italy and south. And we're also going to make sure that tiny little irrelevant people in Italy, like this guy, he controls 0.5% of the trade power in his node. He doesn't matter. He's not even in our node. I don't know why I'm talking about him. But so we could leave Savoy alive in one province. By the way, if Savoy dies right now, we get our family on their throne. But I think... Oh, wait, he's infertile? He's infertile. We actually will probably get our family on his throne. That's fantastic news. Right, as I was saying, what we'll do is we'll probably take like Verona and then leave this province. And we'll take, some of Venice and then leave them in the Empire with just this province. Things like that to try and maximize the amount of Imperial Authority gain we get. That is the plan. They're already demanding privileges. Hasn't even been 10 years and the burghers want more privileges. Ugh. I think we have to say yes. I really don't want to lose legitimacy right now. And we can't have that much unrest. Speaking of privileges, they're not that privileged. The lesser nobles aren't anyway. And the burghers aren't either. They've only got 4 privileges now, counting that one we just gave them. That one's not too bad, because the burghers having money, it's not a bad thing. We do, however, need to get rid of this one, I think would be useful, to get rid of that multiplier on their influence. The greater nobles have all kinds of privileges, as per normal. We need to get rid of this one. I think that's the only one. Maybe this one as well, for the advisor. Yeah, the advisor costs and the legitimacy would be useful to get rid of them. The lesser nobles have very few privileges, but we absolutely must get rid of this one as soon as possible. I might even do it right now. How much stability we got? Oh, this page is new. I think that total population is new. That's cool. We're 19% urbanized. That's ridiculous. And we have 1.9 million people. Cool. That's right, isn't it? 1.9 million? Yeah. We currently have 20 stability points, so we probably shouldn't do that just yet. We've got a great court, we're crowded development, we have high education, impressive culture. Wonderful, wonderful. But very, very soon we're going to want to do that so that no more lesser nobles promote to greaters, and we can start trying to demote some of the greater nobles into lesser nobles. Ooh, hey, nice. Savoy is willing to transfer trade power to us. We should improve relations with them first, so they're willing to transfer them. They're willing to steer trade towards us even. I don't know if that makes any difference. Yeah, 0 out of 3 merchants would be assigned to steer trade to you. But we could do it anyway. Does it help relations? Doesn't look like it. Okay, but we're going to improve relations with them first before we ask for transfer trade power. which they're not willing to do because they're steering trade. Huh. Okay, we'll cancel that then. But that's really good to know. They're going to transfer. They're going to transfer a bunch of their Piedmontese trade to us, which is excellent news. Presumably because their trade capital is over here in West Mediterranean, so they care less about it. But that's excellent news. Fantastic. The reason, by the way, we're going to improve relations with them first is because then they'll be willing to give us all 50% of their trade rather than just 38%. Oh, I thought I would mention, since we're not, since you're not, probably many of you are not going to watch the full hour-and-a-half long VOD of the initial war. This is a trick that I really like to use when I'm in the Empire. Give the minimum amount of subsidies for 400 years, which is the whole game if you were playing in vanilla. Actually, this will end 100 years before the end of the game, but that won't be a problem because I'm betting Saxony won't exist that far into the game. It'll improve their opinion of you by not very much, but it'll stay at 15. And as long as you're never at war with these people, that improved relations is essentially permanent. So as you can see, I'm giving subsidies to basically every elector. Not Bohemia, because I don't want their vote and we can't rely on it. So we're going to do that. And that's basically plus 15 relations with all the electors. On a grander scale, you can do this to the whole world. Let's say you really want everyone in the world to like you, or you want an ally to like you, say France. You can give them a subsidy, very small, it's not France. You can give them a subsidy, a very small subsidy of only 0.1 ducats. It's not insignificant. It's not nothing right now. You know, that's 1% of our income. But still, I think it's worth it. We're going to give France 1% of our income, and it's going to improve. Okay, that's too slow. 0.09. It works obviously a lot better the poorer they are, but that's too slow an increase. That'll be +1 in 100 years. But, sorry, +9 in 100 years. That's not enough. Well, we could do that. I mean, it's a very long play, but I don't think that's necessary. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's really useful for the electors because they're often poor, so it helps improve relations with them. I've also been cutting ties with many of the electors. We do have some royal marriages that will need to wait to expire naturally with Brandenburg, with the who I'm going to insist, I'm afraid, on calling the Palatinate. But yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Now I think of it, who else might be willing to transfer trade to us? Let's investigate that. Yeah, a whole bunch of people willing to transfer trade to us. That's excellent. I'll work out who the best ones are to get trade from, because it's worth remembering the more people you have transferring trade to you, the less people are willing to transfer trade to you, and the less they're willing to transfer. A bunch of people willing to steer trade to us as well. Fantastic. They're all probably feeling quite threatened, I have to imagine. Plus, we're very rich. Awesome. If you're not familiar with vassals in Meiou and Taxes, they're quite significantly different in terms of how you integrate them. As you can see, they integrate very slowly, so it's going to take 33 years for us to integrate Montferrat and Mantua to a point where we can integrate them. As you can see, these things speed it up, and these things all slow it down. It's also the same. Oh, we should actually enact a policy regarding all our vassals. We're going to increase the tribute. I always do this. 5% more liberties I have 10% income. I love it. Great choice. Partners. So these are things that increase and decrease it here, as you can see. It's only going to take 29 mere years to integrate Massa, this tiny little 5 development province. Oh well. Pro tip. Whenever you are wanting your vassals to fabricate claims for you, always specify provinces as special interests, like so. Now Mantua should start fabricating on these, Massa should fabricate on these. It can also depend on their ruler's personality, however, which obviously doesn't apply in Massa's case because they don't have a ruler. But this guy is Industrious Babbling Buffoon, Elusive Shadow. He's an Elusive Shadow. I think that makes him more likely to fabricate claims. So that could be good. He also, as you can see, believes he has strategic interests on these areas as well. But always specify as your strategic interest. It increases the likelihood of your vassals fabricating. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so Lucca is asking for us to grant them independence. It won't be for that long because this is an area I want to conquer, but for sure. I get 5 free Imperial Authority. And there we go. Lucca exists. Sorry, Pisa. I should really make Pisa hate us, but they're still very willing to transfer trade power. So we're going to keep working on relations until they're willing to give us 50%. Hey, nice. Habeas Papam. We are now in control of the Pope, and the new Pope can be manipulated by us, giving us a 50-point relationship improvement. That will probably make France want to dislike us. It might cause a schism in the church. So now, where do you see what the church's, or the papal influence is right now? Not this papal influence, a different kind of papal influence. Let me look into that. Ooh, what a fantastic change! Papal authority is now shown on the decisions tree, just like church influence and piety. God, M&T team, you're so cool. Oh God, and it shows you the reasons why. I'm going to immediately go and congratulate the M&T team. This is a brilliant change. Okay, so the presence of this wonderful change allows us to see exactly what causes papal influence. Papal authority, sorry. If you're not familiar, papal authority impacts the power of... Where would I see it? I don't think it's a triggered modifier. No, it's a... is it this? I think it's going to trigger at the end of the month. Hang on. Let me just check here. Didn't. Maybe it fires after a little while, I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a modifier for being the papal controller. Oh, here, does it show up as a... Here it is. Nice. Papal controller, strong. So because the papal influence is strong, that means greater than 500, we get all those bonuses. Missionary strength, prestige, advisor costs, less diplo rep, that's a bit weird, aggressive expansion down, and diplomatic relations up. So here are all the things that impact papal authority. This is something we're going to do our very best to try and keep high throughout the campaign. Catholic provinces up to 200 gives... Okay, that's interesting. Just flat Catholic provinces. So if we just conquer a whole bunch of land, even if the Reformation starts, if we conquer a whole bunch of land to compensate for the Catholic land that we lose, that modifier can stay high. Catholic states, you want lots of Catholic states. We don't want consularism. Okay, consularism. Okay, so I'll remember to try and block that. Catholic pentarchies, plus 25 each. The pentarchies being the major churches over here. So Constantinople, Cairo, Jerusalem, Antioch, I think. I thought Rome was one, though, so I'm surprised we're not getting 25 from that. The Bishop of Rome does not rule Rome, minus 100. Okay, so we should probably leave the Papal States in Rome. Although I don't know what happens to that one if we settle the question of Rome, which is something you can do if you own Rome. We do have to own it for a mission. So what I think we'll do probably is own it very briefly. Do we have to own Rome to do this? We don't have to own Rome to ask for the Iron Crown of Italy. Okay. We do need to own... Oh, well, we might, actually. You need at least 4 provinces in the central Italy and Marches area to check. This is central Italy, right? Central Italy. Is this Marches? Yeah. But as long as we own 4 provinces here, that's fine. So what we'll probably do is very briefly own Rome to get the CB. Then we'll release Rome as a... maybe as a vassal. Probably as an independent state inside the HRE in Rome. That's the plan, anyway. See, there is a patriarch here. Oh, patriarchate, not patriarch. Not sure where those are then. The Pope's personality, I guess if he has like sinner, it's lower. If he has like holy, it's higher. Papal devotion. So your devotion is getting a bit low, apparently, Pope man. Sort yourself out. The Ad Lima Bishops Reform. So we definitely want to get the Ad Lima Bishops Reform. The less provinces they have, sorry, the more provinces they have, the lower papal authority. Good to know. We want the reformer to not escape justice. We need to not admit mistakes. We need to found the Jesuits. We need to establish it as a holy faith, obviously. Doctrine of Constantine is considered valid, which it is. And we have to try to not have these faiths exist. That gives us more authority. Okay. And then also... Oh no, this is just all of those listed. Oh, here we go. It tells us exactly what happens. For every admitted mistake, papal authority is changed by 25. Okay. Okay. As long as the forgery, the donation of Constantine, isn't exposed, papal authority is changed by 25. Okay. Awesome. Good to know. By the way, we're just renting troops to Austria in a, way to steal money from them as per normal. So we'll turn off that one. I don't think we want to purchase Curia Influence. We've got quite a bit of money right now. I don't think we're going to be able to afford a building yet. Okay, let's let time keep going. I'm just still working on this darn claim on Liguria. I don't think I mentioned the reason I'm most excited about being the HRE Emperor. Of course, it's great from a campaign whole perspective, but it's also amazing from a short-term perspective, because our manpower goes through the roof. Look at that. 35,000 from states in the Holy Roman Empire, and we're also receiving some tax to the tune of 3.7 from the free cities and 0.8 to the states. The reason we get so much from the free cities is because free cities were technically all owned directly by the emperor. So that's going to make it fantastic, fantastic addition to both our income and manpower for the rest of the campaign. As long as we don't lose the empire, of course, which I intend not to. Oh, hell yeah. So France has now just accepted knowledge sharing from us, which is excellent. So they're now paying us a sizable amount of money per month. How much are they giving us? Wait, 0.1. Excuse me? It said 1.6 ducats. I guess that's per year. Bah! Humbug. I thought it was going to be way better than that. Oh well. By the way, we're at war with Genoa. Don't worry about this. Our vassal Savoy is sieging down Castile, despite Castile having 10,000 men that are hiding somewhere. So, yeah. Oh, good. They're just willing to leave. Fine. So you can go Now, Genoa, you ready to hand over your capital and your money? Not your money. How about war reps? They give me war reps, and there we go. The end of the first war on camera. Fantastic. Genoa annexed. No coalition. Only 37 aggressive expansion. It's repeatedly dropped during the. It was 50 when we started. So I don't know. Maybe we did some damage to these provinces. Maybe their developments dropped a bit. 8 does seem pretty low for urban development in Liguria, given that there's 16 in Lombardia. One way or the other. Yoink. Thank you very much. Look at that. Trade situation will be no doubt greatly improved with our new annexation. And we can establish the Reichstag. The Reichstag and the Reich in general developed its own entity apart from the Emperor. Over time, it developed more and more in political power until it was the political center of the Holy Roman Empire. The Emperor gets prestige, members get prestige, and I get a CB on all unlawful territory. Fantastic. 100% of the princes are in favor of the reform because my Diplo rep is so damn good. Why is my Diplo rep so damn good? Jesus, it's 5. Impressive court, Emperor, elected to emperorship, legitimacy. Sweet. Let's give out some Imperial Grace, which if you're not familiar, costs 1 Imperial Authority. We'll just give it out to each of our vassals. That seems appropriate. The Reichstag. Huzzah! The first reform is passed. Now, it's important to bear in mind after a reform, that's when you're most likely to get to lose an election, because your Imperial Authority, 1 point of Imperial Authority, is 1 reason to vote for you. Now, we have done the Reichstag, which means I get prestige, right? No, it's something else. What else? What have I done? I don't see the mission that I've completed. That's strange. Oh, it's pretty lower down. Yeah, here it is. Subjugating Genoa. Gives us galleon transport costs. How entirely worthless. Oh, well. Sardinia, on the other hand, will give us some naval tradition, which is not bad. There we go. Now, Genoa, of course, was not in the Empire. So we now have 3 provinces that we could add to the Empire anytime we wanted. Well, once we've caught them, of course. Yeah. So you get we've got 3 Imperial Authority waiting in the wings. Fantastic. Okay, well, with that little expansion of land, I'm going to call it a part here. Oh, except, just to explain myself on this, we're not taking an idea, because we're very close to getting Admin Tech 8, which will allow us to take the next idea group, which will naturally be diplomatic ideas. 2 reasons. The diplomatic rep is really going to help with us getting elected. Not that that's going to be much of a problem from now on. And it's also going to help with passing reforms, which will be a problem later on. And also, the improved relations is fantastic, and it unlocks the way towards eminence, which I can't see right now, but I assure you, offers 30% improved relations. The reason we're going to rush those 2 down is because aggressive expansion is going to be our main enemy in this campaign. Once we've got those 2, we probably then will take culture, because culture is just so good for the idea cost, the tech cost, the tax modifier. It's a lovely, 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 lovely idea group. But for now, we're going to go Diplo, then eminence, so we can conquer at maximal speeds. Fantastic. Oh, by the way, Naples won a war against Aragon and took some land down here. I was really hoping Aragon would take Provence, and then I could demand Provence be returned to the Empire. And then, because there were no existing Empire states which had a core on Provence, because Provence... Oh, no, Provence is a state. No. Yes, Provence is not... They must be a member of the Empire. But it's not showing a little... Oh, that doesn't happen. Okay, I thought... Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, okay, they are a member of the Empire. Okay, so if we demand it, should give it back to Provence. I was thinking it might give it to us, but never mind. If Naples annexes it, and then someone else takes it, and then we unlawful territory it, then it will just go to us, because there'd be no existing states. No, then it would go to Provence. This is slightly convoluted. And then Provence would be independent. It's not that convoluted, I'm just getting it wrong. How big's our city, by the way, in terms of actual population? Let's check. You have to hover on this in the new patch. We've got 124,000 urban population. Pretty freaking good. All right, I'm going to call it a part here. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please do like it. It helps out a great deal, and I will see you, I think, next week. I'm going to do these episodes at 1 per week. Maybe I'll up it to 2 per week, depending on how much I end up recording. But just to put it in context, this episode took 2 and a bit hours. So it's, I'm playing slowly and methodically. I want this to go well. So it takes a while to get these recorded. Either way, thank you ever so much for watching. I do look forward to seeing you in the next